the eye, I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be 7 minutes or less.
All right, but
So it will not be long. It's for our docu series.
Okay.
Good luck.
This camera is close.
I might pop in and do some BTS. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. Don't you tell me how you do.
All right. Oh, I'm out of breath. Need some urine. This camera is close. Whew. Okay. Oh.
Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Great. We will get started momentarily. Welcome, everyone, to today's Super Bowl press availability with Sean Murphy-Bunting. We will start with Karen Loftus from WFLA.
All right, you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can
All
hear
right,
you.
cool. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I was talking to your mom the other day, and she said that in college you had a stretch where you had like 5 interceptions in a row. And she
Right.
said this stretch that you're doing right now with 3 picks in all the playoff games, she said it sort of reminded her of that time. Are you just seeing the ball that much better right now and you're just in a groove? And what would it mean for you to get an interception in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, definitely seeing the ball, obviously, a lot more. Obviously, within given the calls we've had, I've been able to see the ball more and been able to play more with my eyes on the quarterback. But at the end of the day, it's kind of football. I've been at the right position, at the right place, at the right time, and just got to keep doing that and keep being the player that I am.
And what would it mean to get an interception in the Super Bowl there?
Oh, it'd be hype. It'd be real cool, man. Just to kind of continue, like you said, that streak. But at the end of the day, really getting the interception. Or I mean, the most important thing for me is obviously the win. That will probably mean everything to me. Probably the biggest moment in my life. And so, just getting that win would mean a lot to me.
Cool. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Greg Allman with The Athletic.
Hey, Sean, hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. How about you?
Good, man, good. Hey, want to ask you about your mom as well. I know how much she means to you. I know she's been with you all the way through this, was there in New Orleans, was there in Green Bay. And just want to ask you what it means to have her there Sunday and how close you guys are and continue to be throughout this whole deal.
Yeah, my mom's my best friend. But we've always been close from since I was a little kid, obviously, since high school, since college, we've always just been close knit. But it means the world to me, knowing that she can not always go to every game, but she tries to go to every game, and she's made it work. And she's been able to make it work with me, with my younger brother, who's also a college football player. And so it just means the most to me to know how hard that she tries to work to try to get there, to try to get to all the games. And then I always see her before the game somehow, and I always see her after the game somehow. So she definitely makes her way down the stands to make sure that she is seen.
Thanks, Sean.
Yes, sir.
Next, we'll go to Michael McQuaid.
Hey, Sean, how's it going, man?
Going good. How about you?
Congratulations and hello from Ireland, man. Obviously, Sean, you played in London last year against the Panthers in Tottenham Hotspur's new stadium. I've got a quick follow-up after this, but how did you find that whole experience and just the fans over here?
Oh, man, it was exciting. It was almost like I felt like I was at home. It didn't feel any different. It felt really exciting. Obviously, it was a different scenery, but the fans were engaged. They were fun to be around. They were fun to talk to. They were fun to hang out with when we were, practicing at the stadium that we were practicing at. But I mean, it was very enjoyable just to get out of the country. That was the first time I've ever been out of the country, and to see how much, over there they enjoy football. And so it was definitely a good time.
Awesome, man. And look, all the best on Sunday. And just before I go here, you've caused a big stir over here in a good way. Your surname, Murphy-Bunting, is quite Irish. Have you any Irish background yourself?
Actually, my grandfather has a little Irish in him, so that's where the Murphy comes from as well. And the
Awesome,
freckles,
man.
and the freckles too. If you can see them, I can zoom in for you. You see them?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All the best on Sunday, Sean. All the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Ryan from the New York Post.
Hey, Sean, this is actually Omar Ruiz from NFL Network.
How you doing?
Good. How's it going, man? Congrats on your recent run here, all those picks and all your successes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm curious about, the matchup with Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Obviously, two great players individually. I'm wondering what you've seen from them, how they play off of each other and kind of, try to play in tandem on the field.
Yeah, you can tell they've been together for a little bit. You can tell they enjoy playing with each other. You can tell they're pretty good friends off the field. It shows throughout, just the chemistry. When one of them make a big play, the other one's always excited for him and vice versa. And they're always feeding off of each other, whether it's big plays back to back, whether it's one of them getting a big play and the next one, 2 plays down the stretch, the next one get a big play. And so that's kind of throughout their whole offense. They all feed off of each other. They're all very talented guys. And you can definitely tell they have a lot of chemistry building and cooking over there.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try Ryan from the New York Post one more time.
Hey, Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Take me back to draft night. There were like 10 cornerbacks picked between like pick 30 and pick 45 in that second round. Were you thinking you'd go to the Bucs? Did you think you might go high? The Giants picked the first one. Actually, they picked DeAndre Baker, who's on the Chiefs now. Were you thinking you might be the first guy off the board? Were you thinking that was early for you? Take me back to draft night in that run of cornerbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have any control over where I was going. I didn't really act like I had control over where I was going. I didn't want to act like I had control. At the end of the day, I really just wanted to go to a team that wanted me. And whether that was going to be in the first round, whether it was going to be in the 6th round, I already had to set my mind that I was going to go there to compete and to get on the field and to win championships with my team and to build, a championship program. Did I know I was going to go that high? No, I didn't. But I was very grateful that I did. I was very grateful for the team that I went to. And the rest is kind of history. I just can hope to continue to just grow as a player and to grow in the organization, just keep ending up in this situation.
When there's a run like that, do you keep tabs on the other guys, like what Trayvon Mullen's doing or what Roxy Nya is doing with the Colts? When there's a run like that, do you measure up yourself through the season with the other guys?
I mean, throughout the entire process of the offseason, I got to build relationship with guys like that. Guys obviously in the similar situations as me. So guys like Byron Murphy, like you said, Trayvon Mullen, those guys have been guys that I've had actual close communication with throughout the years and throughout the season. And so I always wish for the best for guys that got drafted with my class, guys that were drafted before me, guys that were drafted after me. And I only want, success for them as well. Success for them, success for me. It makes our entire class look good. And so, I mean, that's in itself.
Thanks.
Next, we'll go to Rick Stroud. Rick, you're unmuted. Okay, we'll go. Oh, Rick, can you hear us?
I don't think Rick wants to talk to me.
We'll come back to Rick. Let's go to Susie Colbert.
I want to talk to you more than Rick does.
I like to hear.
So I'm trying to draw a comparison here. You guys were swept by the Saints in the regular season, beat them in the playoffs. You lose to KC. I'm wondering specifically for you, what have you tried to dial in on and really take away from that Week 12 matchup?
Just starting fast. I feel like we started slow. They got a good jump on us early on. They were doing some good things, and they were out scheming, what we had going on. They had a really good game plan that game, But the main thing that I'm taking away or need to take into that game is to start fast, and just stay true to my technique and stay true to what my coach has taught me and what we've seen on film.
Does it help that you've seen Tyreek, you've seen him in person, you saw that speed, you kind of know what to adjust to?
100%. From anybody from the outside looking in, dude, that dude's fast. He has some serious speed. And I feel like for a lot of people, you won't really know how to play that type of guy until you've seen it in person or seen it go against you. And so, I mean, just seeing that in person, the dude's fast. Like I see why his nickname is the Cheetah. I do.
Next, we'll go back to Rick Stroud.
Told you, Rick don't want to talk to me. I thought me and Rick had a good relationship built.
Rick, you're unmuted.
Our relationships are built on trust. Rick's letting me down right now.
All right, we'll move on to Richard Graves from Sky Sports News.
Hey, Sean, I certainly want to hear from you. You guys have obviously been playing at a very high level, you personally as well, through this postseason. I wonder if you could just talk me through the strengths of this defensive unit as you see it, and not only the advantage of playing fast, but having that big playability about you as well.
Yeah, the strengths of our defense. We're a fast, physical, hit you in the mouth defense. I mean, we got the guys up front. The front seven is tremendous, if not the best in the league. And then the back end as well. We're continuously growing, getting better, feeding off of each other, and we're playing for one another. And we're physical. We're all physical guys. Corners, we like to put our hands in the line of scrimmage. Our safeties like to come down and knock your head off. So, I mean, we get the best of both worlds.
How important is that big playability as well to this unit?
Yeah, it's very important. I feel like whenever you can take the ball away and give it to your quarterback, especially with the quarterback that we have, only good things can happen out of that. Just getting the ball back to them as many times as possible. Just having the weapons that we have on offense. You always want to get the ball back to them guys and have them put up points on the board.
Next, we'll go to James Palmer.
There you go. You got to give me the unmute button. Sean, I know you and I love to talk to each other about you being a part of the Tom Brady movie, as you've brought up to me multiple times, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's flip it a little bit. With the run you're on and the way this year's gone for you, run me through if there was a Sean Murphy-Bunting movie about you, what would be the highlights, the lows, the highs, and how would it finish on Sunday?
The highs, the lows. You want me to give you is this like a life?
Yeah, run me through a synopsis, like a storyboard, if you will. I mean, we've talked movies.
Is this for life, or
Yeah.
is this like for like the season?
This is whichever you choose. Actually, I prefer life though.
Life, huh? Ooh. Yeah, it starts off as an inner city kid, obviously just playing sports, backyard sports with my friends, my buddies, my brothers. Growing up, my brothers. I grew up with 5 brothers, so gotta have 5. A big household in there. Going through Little League, I played every sport. I was pretty good at every sport. I started to fall in love with baseball, obviously a little bit more. So I was, going through a baseball stretch, thinking that I was going to go to college, play baseball, go to high school, play baseball. And then in high school, it actually turned out football was the first scholarship offer at Division II. So once I got that, I kind of stopped playing baseball as much. And then I started focusing more on football. So then going to college, obviously, the story of going to college for me was pretty difficult. I was no stars, no offers. I had one college offer. It got pulled away. Then I got it back in a gray shirt offer. I had to go up to the school to get the offer back randomly at just a random given day. That has to go in there, And then when I get to the NFL, it's like, I've always just felt like an underdog, So it's gonna be one of those underdog movie stories that he always prevails at the end. And in the end, it always works out the way that God wanted it to work out successfully.
And you're going to play yourself, right?
I'm gonna have to play myself.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm an actor at heart. You guys just don't know that yet, but you'll find that out eventually. But I'm actually not that good at acting, but I'm trying to be good. I have a good personality for it. So that has to work for something.
Beautiful, man. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go with Alvin Whitney from CNN Sports.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, man? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Being on the takeaway theme, you guys have been taking it away in the secondary, and so simply put, what's the secondary's mindset and approach to trying to control this high-powered passing game?
Ball hawks. You got to be ball hawks. Creating turnovers any way possible, whether it's interception, whether it's a forced fumble recovery. Any way we can get our hands on the ball, we're trying to get our hands on the ball. And like I said, take the ball away from Holmes, put it in his hands less, and give it to Tom. And hope our offense is gonna put points on the board for us. It would be great if we can get points on the board ourselves, though. Let's make sure that one doesn't go out of the category either. Always good to put up points from defense.
Next, we'll go to Carmen with Bucs.com.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Carmen?
I'm doing well. Listen, I just talked to Carlton, and I don't know if you saw the clip from the NFC Championship game where he had everyone around saying they had us as the last team in the league, referring to that number 32 ranking for the secondary. Mm-hmm. Well, in the playoffs, the Bucs defense has 20 passes defense, 5 interceptions. You lead all playoff teams in those categories. Mm-hmm. Is there a certain type of vindication now, not only being in the Super Bowl for you guys, but how you got here?
Carmen,
yes.
I didn't graduate college, so I don't really know what vindication means. So if you can please explain that to me real quick, and then I'll let you know.
Oh, Sean, I'm sorry. I set you up for that, I guess.
Okay.
Listen, no, vindication. Is there some sort of satisfaction? Is there some sort of is this your revenge tour? Is this a revenge tour for you? Gotcha. And now you get to be like, hey, to all the haters, look where we are.
Yeah. I mean, we're looking at it in a way where we can really, like I said, make history. And just kind of be those guys. I mean, we don't really look for recognition from anybody. We're not expecting anybody to realize or recognize anything that we're doing. We're just kind of playing for each other, playing for one another. If that happens in the process, then so be it. But we're still just gonna, like I said, fight like we're the underdogs every day. Come ready to work and never be satisfied, really.
I really need the Michael Jordan meme of you guys with the "I took that personally." I need that for the Bucs secondary.
I got you. Yeah, you definitely need that, though. You need that one.
Thanks so much, Sean.
You're welcome.
Next, we'll go with Luke from Bucs Wire.
Hey, Sean, how you doing?
I'm good. Luke, how are you?
I'm good, man. Listen, when you and I talked, and I talked to Carlton and a lot of those other guys in the secondary in the off season, you guys had spoken so much about the brotherhood that you guys have back there. There's, maybe 2 or 3 draft classes represented, but you guys are all around the same age. You came around the same time, and you guys just talked about how important that relationship has been. Now that you, as a group, are in the Super Bowl together, can you just kind of reflect on what that means to be here with your guys? And like everybody else has said, to be making so many plays on the secondary, just what it means to you guys.
Yeah, it means a lot, man. Just knowing that obviously the staff, the people in the front office, just having the trust that they have in us to just continuously grow as a group. Like I said, we've had our rough patches here and there, but that's gonna happen, when you have a bunch of younger guys that's still trying to learn the game and still trying to develop as players in a league like this, in a fast league. And so obviously the type of teams that we played against some very talented teams. We played against some very talented quarterbacks. And from the beginning of the season till now, it's only gotten better and better, and it's only going to continue to grow. The more we, like I said, rely on each other, trust each other, and play for one another.
And then in terms of the Chiefs specifically, you talked about starting slow. You guys spotted them 17 points in that first quarter back in week 12. Mm-hmm. But you finished those last 3 quarters really strong. You haven't lost a game since then. What about those last 3 quarters gives you guys confidence going into this matchup that you guys can match up with them if you play that way for 4 quarters?
Yeah, I mean, you said it. Like you said, that second half, we kind of made some adjustments and we started playing a lot better, and that kind of continued throughout the rest of the season. But that just kind of that was all accountability and reliability, being able to rely on each other, being able to be accountable for one another and just kind of continuously playing and really knowing what you're playing for. Our whole thing was we wanted to win a championship, and a lot of teams, a lot of people talk about it, but a lot of people aren't trying to be about it in the sense of doing what you have to do to get to that championship. And I feel like, especially with the virus going on, we've handled everything the proper way to get to this point. So it was really no surprise of us getting here. It's more so, sticking to the script and doing everything the right way to put yourself in a better position once you get here.
Thanks so much, man.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Christopher Holmes.
Hi, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine, thank you. Just wanted to ask, a lot changed after the bye week, both on offense and defense, and especially after that game where Tyreek Hill went wild in the first half. And just wanted to know what changed in your approach for game day and in scheme or coordination. What changed or what Coach Bowles asked you to do to get better as a unit?
The main thing that changed would be just being accountable. That's just a big word that we use around here, man. It's accountability and being able to rely on one another and make sure that each person is going to do their job to 100% in their best effort and best ability. And I think that was the main thing that changed. Once we got the bye week going, we were able to get some of our guys back. We were able to get our bodies back healthy. But the main thing would be, guys, I feel like guys bought in and guys really focused, for those last couple of weeks because they saw that the vision was actually possible and it was actually in arm's reach.
Okay, next we'll go to Jenna Lane with ESPN.
Hey, Sean, good to see ya.
Hey, Jenna. I can't see you, but.
Sorry, I know. Soon though. I know that growth sometimes is painful and it's a process, and sometimes you got to revisit games that weren't your best games. And I know for you guys, your start to that Kansas City game wasn't your best effort. What
Right.
did you guys take from that experience, and how did that help you grow?
Yeah, they were the defending champs, and so once we once we realized that second half when we came out playing different, obviously we realized we can play with those guys, and we realized that we have to make obviously some adjustments to do that early on and start the games a lot faster. But just knowing that we can play with those guys, we can play with a lot of guys in this league, a lot of teams in this league, and we had to know that we were a talent team as well. We can't always go into games looking like, oh, they have this guy, they have this guy, they have this guy, because at the end of the day, we have guys too. And it's the league, everybody's good in the league, and what really separates you is the way you prepare for a game, the discipline, the technique, and kind of what my coach says is more of a neck up thing.
And you guys are, sorry, you to cut you off.
No, you didn't. It's okay.
You guys are going to be playing for a bigger crowd this Sunday, and a large portion of that crowd is going to be healthcare workers. Mm-hmm. What does it mean for you guys to be able to, not just put on a show on the biggest stage, but to do it for a group of people that doesn't always get a whole lot of recognition, but has played such an important role in helping so many people throughout this pandemic? What does it mean for you to be part of helping them get the recognition that many feel they deserve?
No, it's definitely awesome, man. Like you said, they deserve a lot. They've been doing a lot ever since this pandemic really started, and even before that. A lot of the work that they do does go unnoticed. But it's definitely a really, really big, awesome thing that they're doing, being able to bring those guys, bring a bunch of them to the game, and have them see the Super Bowl, one of the biggest games in sports in general. And so, it's really awesome, and I appreciate and applaud, all types of healthcare workers, all types of social, like police officers, firefighters, everything. They just all do a really good job, especially in the Tampa community.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we go to Josh Dubow with the Associated Press.
Sean, you were talking about how physical you guys are as a secondary. Some of the KC guys were saying that they think that officials maybe let a little more contact go between receivers and secondary in the playoffs. Have you noticed that? Is it a more physical game back there this time of year?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's physical from both sides of the ball. You know, it's receivers that's being physical as well. And so I feel like the guys the referees are letting you play, and they're gonna let you play throughout the league and in the playoffs. And so you just got to play ball. You got to be ready to go.
Next, we go to Therese Taylor.
Hey, Sean, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. I'm a state of Michigan guy, so it's nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you as well.
Question, week 12, I'm sure you've been asked about it plenty, but I want to ask you about your teammate, Jamel Dean. What kind of player is he? How much did it kill him not to play in that last game against this offense? And, you know, is he one of those guys that gives you some reason to hope, hey, you know, things can be a little different this time around?
Definitely. Dean's a baller. He's a real technique dude. He's a big film guy. And so most of the time he sees a lot of things that sometimes we don't necessarily see a lot. And so he always brings his feedback back. But Dean is another guy that's physical at the line of scrimmage that can run. He's the fastest out of the group. And so obviously having him back and having that speed on the field is a big bonus for us. But even when Dean was out, you know, we had guys that stepped up. We had Herb Miller that stepped up. We had Ross Cockrell that's been, you know, stepping up throughout the entire year. And so obviously just having the depth that we have is always good, but having Dean back and having his presence back on the field is definitely going to boost our defense up in the right direction.
Thank you.
Next, we go to John from Deadspin.
Hey, Sean, how are you today?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Good. Thanks so much for taking the time. Just one question that I wanted to ask you real quick. You were a part of this team last year, coming in as a rookie into 2019. What has changed about the culture, the dynamic within the organization from last year to get you guys here, where you're striving for a Super Bowl, Tom's potential 7th? What was kind of the big dynamic change that led to that?
The culture change, man. It was guys bought in. You know, last year we had games that we lost that we should have won, and we had a bunch of things going on, whether it was just not stopping guys, not creating enough turnovers, stuff like that. But I feel like this year guys were just, like I said earlier, more accountable, man. They were more bought into the system and bought into actually believing that they could win, and believing that we could be a dominant force team in this league. Last year I didn't feel like we had that mentality throughout the year. I feel like it was gained towards the end of the season. And obviously leading into this season, that momentum kind of picked up. But for the most part, the really big difference to me is the accountability of guys, the hard work and the dedication you see guys here. You see guys putting in work throughout the day, all day, watching film, getting in groups, watching film and stuff like that. And I feel like that's been really the game changer.
Awesome. Thanks.
Okay, we'll take 3 more questions. The next will be from John Ledyard with PewterReport.com.
Hey, Sean, you guys didn't really, even though you and Jamel and Carlton are kind of like these big, long, athletic corners, you guys didn't really play a ton of press man coverage until the playoffs. You kind of pulled it out against the Saints in Green Bay, where you upped your press man coverage reps considerably across the board. Just wondering why that process why it was kind of implemented for those games more so than other games, and how you feel like that your comfort level, I guess, in that and the rest of the corners' comfort level. It seems like, I mean, a lot of your big plays have come in a press man alignment. So just your thoughts on the whole press man thing and how that's increased lately.
Yeah, I mean, we're all press man corners. That's kind of what we did in college. So it's something that's always in our back pocket and something that we can do. Our coach has a lot of more trust in us to be able to do a lot of different things. He doesn't put us in this box of just being press man corners. He allows us to do a bunch of different things, whether it's play off, whether it's press bill and things like that. He allows us to kind of play what we see and how we think we should see it. And I feel like by him doing that, that's only helped us see more, develop more, and not just kind of have this stickler of just being press guys, but being able to do a lot of different things. But the confidence in the press, I mean, I feel like all of us are very confident in our press. We work the technique every single day in practice. After practice, we work the technique. So Technique, like I said, is a big thing that separates guys from being good and guys from being great.
Thanks, Sean.
Right, Jason Dill from the Bradenton Herald.
Hey, Sean. I was just curious, how do you sort of go about stopping a guy like Travis Kelce, and does it help sort of preparing for someone like that when you have a teammate like Gronk?
Say that one more time, please.
Yes. How do you sort of go about sort of stopping a guy like Travis Kelce with the Chiefs, and does it help having a teammate like Gronk to prepare for somebody like Kelce?
Yeah, Kelsey's a really good player. He's very talented. He has a very good quarterback that gets him the ball. He makes plays happen. It's just you can do a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, it's gonna come down to playing ball. I mean, we're gonna limit them. We're gonna try to limit a bunch of guys. We're gonna try to do a bunch of different things. And it just depends on the situation, the circumstances, and the scheme. But I mean, we're going into the game confident. We're going into the game ready to play, no matter who we have to cover, no matter who it is. And so we got to do our part, do our technique, do our discipline, and we should be okay.
Thank you.
Okay, and last question will go to David Harrison with SB Nation.
Hey, Sean, congratulations to you. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great. Appreciate it. Jenna Lane of ESPN shared a video recently on Twitter of you and Devin White walking into Raymond James Stadium for the first time and talking about, getting a lot of wins and speculating about the Super Bowl, obviously. During this time of the year, do you have the opportunity, or have you taken the opportunity to kind of pause and appreciate where you guys have come from being drafted 7-9 last year to the Super Bowl this year? Or is that something you still kind of put on hold as you focus for this game coming up?
Yeah, to be honest, man, I haven't really sat down and really took everything in. I've kind of been focused. I've had a really narrow view, a narrow vision. I've been really focused on just kind of these past couple of weeks of just how I can just continue to get better and better and better. I haven't really sat down and just digested everything, man. I'm really excited to just get on the field this Sunday and play in front of the family, in front of the fans for a championship, man. I've never been in this situation. I've never been in any SEC championships, AC, any of that, any MAC championships, anything. So this is really, my biggest championship when it comes to football. And so that's got all I've been focusing on is just playing in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then speaking of first experiences, you obviously have been a young defensive back in a Todd Bowles defense yourself. How has Antoine Winfield Jr. kind of adapted to that scheme so quickly or so well in this first year? And what do you think he's brought to the team in 2020?
Yeah, Antoine is very, very smart. He's a baller. He can do just about everything. He can play in the box. He can play high. He can play man. He can blitz. But he's adjusted very well. He's took that role, that leadership aspect. And it's not common to what younger guys do when they come in. But he's kind of embraced it, and he's just been up for the challenge for everything we put him in every situation we put him in, and he's always made big plays, big time plays.
Great. Thank you, Sean. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean. That concludes your press availability for today.
Thank you, guys. You guys have a good one.
Thanks, you too.